Hey, what is up, y'all? Um, it's your boy Kent. I decided I'd shoot you a little tour of this place. This is the place I built, and it's not done yet. My lord, it's not done. Yeah, that's my light. This is what it looks like in front of me when I'm recording. This is like, oh yeah, I built a little pantry here. Let's see, and then like I've got like sort of like a gardening area. I'm not doing a whole lot of gardening with it right now. That is the extent of it. In my last stream, I yelled at my cat for being on my potato plants, and yeah, that's what she was on. I don't know why she likes that. She just does. I also got a cactus. It was in the way of something I was building, and I was like, I'm not gonna kill a cactus. They're kind of, I mean, they occur out here, but they're not like the most common plant. So, let's see. This is my entertainment center, and I am unduly proud of it. I play like Final Fantasy on this beast all the time. I'm currently working through, yeah, the Lesbian Road Trip, Final Fantasy X2 or 10-2, I think. Yeah, 10-2. This is my kitchen. I am building out a my bed. It's mostly done, but like it's got some more work. This is all pallet wood, so I want to be sure it works. That is my shower, and it's a little janky, but like, you know, it works. And out in where I'm from, Nebraska, and you know, we got a saying, if it looks stupid but it works, it ain't stupid. Let's see, there is my hammock. Sleep there most nights. Yeah, this is what's behind that backdrop. It's just like a little area. Oh, there's my cat. Yeah, here's my video game and my book collection. I've got a lot more books than that. That's just what is here in the one bookshelf I've built so far. And we're stepping outside where we can see a little bit better. There was a windstorm that was a greenhouse of sorts last year, but I decided I was going to be too busy with construction this year, so right now it's just a pile of junk. That is my outhouse. We don't need to explore everything there, but like, yes, I have a functioning outhouse. What do you want? It's the Wild West. And frankly, I don't mind. Like, I got a radio interview once where the dude was just like super curious about it, but it's just, I don't know, it's just a different way to take care of things, you know, whatever works. But like, yeah, everything's as sanitary out here as anywhere else. That is the outside of my house. Oh yeah, I didn't see. It didn't pass without door. Like, the screen door is fairly low. The door is kind of a little bit lower. There is a fireplace, and that is a chimney, and that is exactly as janky as it looks. The Deep Space Nine looking thing is a wind turbine. Doesn't produce near enough wind energy. These are my other potatoes. They're doing fantastic. Like, I wouldn't have even bothered with the two in there, but you move cardboard boxes full of dirt when they're wet. So those are just going to stay in there, and I will never do that again. And I decided I had more potatoes lying out in boxes, so I was like, why not? I captured like a lot of these little tiles a while back on a job, and they're great because they're perfectly sized to keep water from evaporating if it's in one of those buckets. This is a pile of dirt. This is just where I like mix my soil, because I've got like compost and biochar bucket right over there, and I've also got my trash and just biochar in this guy. And oh, these things, they're weeds. They dry out. They turn into ash, and that is the only way they're useful to me, because they're like, they make thorns otherwise. Yeah, slowly building up the outside of the house. That's all there's gonna be like steps actually going up, so I'll be able to walk up to the top of the roof. But you can see the difference between like this good soil, which is a mix of biochar and literal bullshit and ashes and a little bit of hay and a little bit of this stuff too, the level caliche. I mean, a little bit's fine. It's just clay and dirt, or clay and gravel essentially. But yeah, you mix all that stuff together and you get like decent dirt that you can grow stuff in. Oh, and there's like sometimes the sagebrush will decompose and like stuff under it. You can mix in like this stuff. Or here's this. This is probably a rabbit pellet. We get rabbits out here. Let's see. That was an early attempt at an outhouse. Now it's just where I keep my wood chips that I have on hand for important wood chip reasons. Let's see, what else can I talk about over here? The road. Yes, this is the very first thing I built. And this road here, actually, can I swivel? I cannot. Okay. Well, this road here took me about the first couple months to build. And if you go, like, you see where that mound is over there? That is past the main road. The main road kind of goes parallel to the railroad tracks, which you can't really see, but they're on that ridge. Like, the horizon right before the mountains, that's the railroad tracks. Yeah. The funny thing is, this is like, I think, Main Street or like First Street or something in Tobar, what I'm on right now. And I built this none of it sagebrush and nothing when I came out here. The fact that there is a road here, even like crap up in dirt, like hand dug swales, that's all me. I did that. Surveyed it kind of wrong. This is 31 feet off, so I'm actually, the real road is here. But since I dug this and already, it's kind of just gets used, and that's gonna be where the driveway goes anyway. But yeah, this is where the real road is gonna go. These are little things that I don't even know what they're called, but they cannot be killed, and they love a good rainy weather. Just started doing that yesterday, but like they call this the monsoon, and the locals do, and it happens. It's about over, but it's supposed to end this week, but this is like the last hurrah of the monsoon. And what else can I say? So when I was making the road, I was pulling sagebrush out of the road. There's currently no sagebrush because there's a road there now. And all of that is still on the side of the road. And I'm slowly bringing it back, because what I do with it is I cook. I found this on the same job. I found the tile. And sometimes I just wander around the rest of Tobar and do some freelance archaeology. And that's where I picked up that piece. Same with that. Anytime I need to do like not super intricate metal work, but just like metal work at all, I can usually find what I'm looking for in the town center of Tobar. No one's tried what I'm doing since the 40s, and it shows. So anyway, here's my artificial creek. So like I'm building those walls around my house. Oh, and I'm building those kinds of stone walls in where the greenhouse is going to go. This is where the greenhouse is going to go, by the way. I haven't really worked on it much this year yet. But this is I'm gonna have like walls like that around the whole property, and I've just started. As you can see, I've got so much to do, but like the weather is usually not this good, so I don't usually have an opportunity to do it. And today I just felt like I should you guys getting to work. If the weather keeps up being this good, I think I'm gonna get to work over the next couple though. Actually, that's not true. I gotta go into town on Friday. Post this up. But yes, so what I did with this is I dug a really deep hole, as deep as you can't even see how deep anymore. But basically, where the bullshit ends, like there's like if you go like a foot down, that's where I started putting. But yeah, it goes like that deep, and then like I stacked sagebrush and then dirt that I'd mixed, and then more sagebrush and dirt that I mixed. The sagebrush is there basically to decompose slowly over time. If those of you who know what hugelkultur is will know what that's all about. Well, the gist of it is that like plants like decomposing wood. There's all kinds of useful nutrients in it, but also plant roots like air. People don't know this, but yes, compacted soils that don't allow for a whole lot of airflow are bad for plants. That's why worms are good. Worms would die if they just straight up ate cliche. So I will eventually introduce some once I get it looking like that everywhere. But yeah, so I tried to bring some to plant some trees. Some of them survived, some of them didn't. Some of them didn't survive, but the grass that came with them did. So I planted them in this hill because I've also been planting like other things and like more like native grasses and plants and stuff. Some of them take, some of them don't really. But more broadly, so like there is a naturally occurring creek right here actually, and this is just, oh, and then this is like where the neighbor's property begins, but as you can see, nobody cares. So I decided to build a wall here, or at least mound some soil, because you can't see it, but the wind is horrendous here usually. And that's why I got the idea of having like this really deep dug creek that isn't going to just be cliche. Because here, this is what the creek looks like in its native state, right? And we can go walk up it a little bit. Oh, and it's like right here. This is the native creek. And this is where I decided to divert it to, and it's eventually just going to flow this way, but I'm not done. And it's going to like sink back up with that. And so but like this creek is a seasonal creek, maybe more like a wadi for Arabic friends. It flows in the spring when the snow melts and the rain and it pours and like no other time. And I could follow this all the way up the road, but you get the idea. Oh yeah, some of the other things that grows local things that can turn into soil. There's some kind of moss that grows underneath the sagebrush, and but otherwise the soil here is mostly just cliche. But yeah, this is naturally occurring, and water does flow down it, and so my intention is to grab that water, and because all the water goes down to a place maybe 10 miles south of here called Snowwater Lake, and it does just what it says on the side of the tin. Snow water collects there, and it just slowly evaporates over the next couple months. Not everything makes it out here. This is a chokecherry that didn't make it, or I don't know. We'll see if it puts anything out in the spring. That's my pride and joy, a chokecherry that is making it. Might even give me a crop in a couple years the way it's going. And then this is one where the tree is surviving, but the grass is really doing so much better. And Gandhi, it's like was first planted. Like it's establishing some healthy colonies. Like that is what I wanted to see for this. And I hope that grass spreads. And I hope the grass spreads here, like this gets colonized and becomes like a big grassy knoll. Warning for the Kennedys, don't come here, I guess. But like, and then you pile up the sagebrush. So when I finish the creek is like, I put sagebrush sticks at the bottom, and like I try to use that as mulch until the grass grows. The idea being that like anything I can do to reduce evaporation is a good thing. So here's some context. That is south, and now if you look at the hill, I'm contouring it, and I'm not done. But you'll see there's like a little ridge I'm building, like directly to the south. The idea is that it will cast a shadow to a certain degree that will prevent evaporation, so that when water comes, it doesn't just immediately evaporate, that it'll kind of sink in. Because sometimes we'll get rain, but the rain won't even hit the ground, right? The rain will just evaporate before it even hits the ground. So that's the kind of situation this desert is. Yeah, it's a beautiful little place. It's got its own challenges. And if you wanted to be a part of this collective, what I would do is I would let you borrow my house. Well, you your own. Because let me show you the surpluses we're sitting on. That window doesn't count, but that window might. You can have seen all the tires. That could be somebody's roof. There's tarps in that thing. Let me show you our wood supplies. Oh yeah, there's one of the cacti. I drove over it once. They're survivors. Yeah, so that's some of the wood reserves we're sitting on. There's even more than that. It's just sort of all over the place. Let's see. Yeah, there's oh, here, let me show you one of the other trees I planted. A couple of the other trees I planted, because I planted some over here too. And these are all junipers. And planting these is when I got the idea for going nuts with the creek. But yeah, and 6 more trees all in a row. And I'm really happy that one is doing so well. I was not expecting that. It was I planted it, it was really weak. And look at the grass there. The grass is growing even taller than the tree. I brought these trees with me from Nebraska, and so that's Nebraska grass. That is not even native here to Nevada, and it shouldn't be thriving like it is, because Nebraska is not the wettest of states, but it is a lot wetter than this. And so the fact that the grass is doing so well is just a good sign to me. And anyway, when I first came out here, I didn't even have an outhouse. But like I used this thing as a toilet seat, and I would dig holes. Here was a hole, and then there was a hole, and then there was. Every time I got done with these holes, I filled them in and mounted it up a little taller. And where the tree is, there was sagebrush, right? So when I got done, the sagebrush, it was like 2 years after I'd first pulled up, and it was earlier this year actually, I think. Yeah, because this is the very first tree I planted here, and I ripped that sagebrush bush out, and it had grown a lot bigger because it had like all the shit to feast on that it could ever want, and moisture and wind, all that. I pulled out, and because I had intentionally made this ring around them with these holes I had been digging, and then I planted that in the middle of it and when you plant a tree out here, you cannot just plant a tree. You have to dig deeper than where the tree is going to go, and fill it with good soil, and that's what I did. But I also put, for years, put soil around it, and if you step in the right place, the soil right here is still a little springy, because it's not just caliche in there. and that's good. And that, I don't eat anything that comes, well, I guess you could eat the gin berries. I wouldn't eat the gin berries from these. Don't make gin out of the juniper berries of these, but the ones in the creek are fine. I make sure the creek is perfectly clean for everything, and that is cleared for human consumption. Oh yeah, speaking of my freelance archaeology and the town center, yeah, I was just looking like for metal containers. Old car batteries, but in the 40s look different than they do now, and people would take the rusted out containers and make all kinds of useful stuff with them. A friend of mine from Omaha gave me these things. One of them is going to become a countertop, and then I've got some windows. So anyway, what I wanted to show you guys was just the gist of what it's like out here. The basics, like, and what we got to work with. And I always get more wood. Like, I keep getting more wood all the time, and I keep scrapping stuff that's already here. So like, there'll probably be more if anyone ever shows up. But yeah, like, this is the stuff we can build your house tomorrow if someone decides to roll up tomorrow. We could get that going. Like, a little hard work and dedication, and you can get all kinds of stuff done. Like, I think I'm gonna just keep talking about this as I show you guys what it's like. Just walk into the road, right? I'm gonna walk to the end of the road, and just oh yeah, here's a little surveyor trick. This is a property corner, and the only problem is I keep driving over it. But back in the day, like, we're talking when George Washington was a surveyor, they would use beer bottles and stuff like that as survey markers all the time. Yeah, there's one of the windows that we could use for somebody's house. And because I remember when I drove to Boise because I was picking him up for free, other than the $60 gas to get there and back. And I had only built out the road this far. I hadn't even reached the end yet, because this is where I unloaded the windows, and I dragged all the ones I needed over there, and one of them blew apart and shattered in a windstorm. And then this is just the last one hanging out from here because I haven't needed it yet, but someday I will, and I'll drag it, and then and I think this is a little marker that I dug to help remind me or something. Let's see. Over yonder is Spruce Mountain. There's turquoise in that mountain. There's copper in that mountain. If I had a truck, or a Jeep or something, some kind of all-terrain vehicle, I could get up in there. And I shouldn't say any kind of all-terrain vehicle. Like, one of those little buggies probably wouldn't do the trick. I'd need something that could haul stuff for miles. I need something I could drive to town with, like, because that is like, and this is the trouble with distances out here. That's like 30 miles south. That is a big, tall mountain. It's not the tallest in Nevada, but that's Pilot's Peak, and Pilot's Peak is over yonder, beyond those mountains, but over by Montello, about I want to say 2 hours away, an hour and a half, closer to 2 the way I drive. I'm a granny, it's the truth. But yeah, so, and then over down, you can kind of see the road a little better now, the main road. Down that road is the neighbors. Neighbors are great people. And like I said, this is Tobar. You will occasionally, even this far, about a mile away from the city center, run across evidence of occupation. This was a town. People did try to make a life here. This is some of the random crap that was left behind. Probably a beer bottle or a soda bottle or something, back when they still made those out of glass on the regular. You'll find a lot of that stuff. Like, I kind of want to, figure out a way to smelt glass without like having to start like really big kilns. I saw someone doing it with a really big Fresnel lens like they have on TVs, but I just heard that we're running out of space things, so I'm going to wrap this up. But we're almost at the road anyway, which you can see, and I dug a little dog leg to discourage traffic, but basically it spits you out right, like here, and then you got the main road. Real pretty day today, but because it's such a pretty day, I wanted to share a little bit of Tobar with everybody. Yeah, so we'll walk to the end of the road, and I could show you guys like a little creek that's formed. I didn't have any part in it. It was here before I got here. Right here. Yeah, look at that. Look at that noise. Yeah. And that just comes off the side of the road. I would like to eventually figure out how to get more of the water that runs off here into my stuff. But anyway, this is Kent from the Tobar Collective, signing out. Everyone have a good one. Peace.